do not mark their videos as for kids. They shouldn't be for kids for reasons you see in a moment, but they target kids. I don't know. You probably understand what I'm trying to express, hopefully. They also have a second channel that's in Spanish, but it is way smaller than the main channel and it looks like it flopped. They are suspected to have another account of a similar size to the main one called Gummy Dora that makes similar content.
Allow me to interrupt this goofy bunny for a moment. As I was researching for this video, I found another channel with literally the exact same thumbnail style called Toon Burger. Only difference is, they have actual dialogue like Corngak's videos and the animation style kind of combines the two. They are either hiring the same artist or are the same person. I don't know. Maybe they are two different people and I am tweaking the fuck out. The title schemes also look the exact same, but they could be using something like vidIQ, which has a title generator that looks like absolute poopy, but that is a topic for another day.
Why do people not mark their videos targeted at kids as for kids? This is because when a video on YouTube is marked as for kids, it disables the comments and you being able to view the videos in a mini player. This means it is harder to get out there in the algorithm, and they would also make less money. The fact that most of their videos are 8+ minutes long makes me believe this theory even more. Videos 8 minutes or more qualify for mid-roll ads, by the way. These content farm channels crave mid-roll ads like a pregnant bitch to pickles and ice cream. The reason this happened to videos marked for kids is because YouTube got sued for $170 million in September 2019 by COPPA for several different reasons. The main reason being the collecting of data on children who use YouTube, and probably the lack of security in the comments uploaded by children or their parents. What I mean was there were people timestamping videos of kids on a trampoline where their stomach was visible, or in a suggested position and stuff like that. Some freak Bob Diddy disciple type shit. What also makes me think that Slimecat's audience is dominated by children is they get a lot of views and sometimes likes per video. But unlike Corngak, they get like no comments. Most of the people who do comment are unquestionably baby bannies. I'm gonna go off script here, like, look at this shit, bruh. Konnichiwa, sayonara, arigato, hihi, uwu, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, heart. I think I lost all sense of dignity I had. I also have a suspicion that they frequently delete comments that are calling them out because other channels have called out Slimecat like Judge, so there is absolutely no possibility that this little people are going to Slimecat and clowning on them. I saw some comments by outsiders, but not much, which is why I think Slimecat deletes them. Most of the people who did call out Slimecat have some from a platform, even if it's small. I will give Slimecat one thing, and it is that the animation is 10 billion times better than Corngak's, and some of the thumbnails aren't as suggestive as Corngak's. The animation is still cheap as fuck, but at least it's actual animation. Corngak's thumbnails were just straight up hentai 99% of the time. That is not to say some of Slimecat's thumbnails aren't weird as fuck, because they are. Before they started milking Sprunky, they were milking Sonic, and they sexualized the bodies of characters like Amy and Sonic, who were like 12 and 15 years old. Or made art of Rouge pinning down Sonic. That is like really gross for reasons I do not need to explain. There are so many things wrong with that in itself. They also looted Rouge, but Rouge is 18, so it isn't as bad, but they should keep it off their channel regardless. For the obvious reason that kids consume a majority of their content. Like, go figure. In one of their first videos that aren't deleted, I'll elaborate more on that later, they also made the Squid Game girl in their thumbnail pregnant, who I think is a girl supposed to be depicted as in her single digits. Lovely. To be clear, I am not the type of person who thinks a character having boobs is goon bait, but like, it seems like Slimecat does it as a way to bait kids into watching their videos. It's weird. Curvy bodies are over-sexualized in general, and implanting kids with this idea is not helping that stigma. They also do the same thing with blood and gore. It is sometimes very cartoony gore, but it is still kind of questionable why they would expose young kids to that. It's a smidge bit too violent for the demographic they're aiming for, in my opinion. The lack of dialogue also makes this appeal to kids as young as toddlers, which can stunt their ability to learn how to speak and has no educational value whatsoever. Take a look at their content for a few seconds and tell me if this is giving them any communication skills whatsoever. That isn't teaching them how to speak fluent constipation. No, but seriously, like, what are these sound effects? I don't even know what this is supposed to be. It is also very overstimulating, which can shorten the attention spans of kids, which are already short enough as is. The longest shots usually last 5 seconds and are filled to the brim with sound effects and weird grunting noises that make it sound like they're taking a shit, but that's neither here or there. The music also changes every 5 seconds, it seems. Everybody, if your popsicles bend like that, those are not popsicles. You should probably call your local food safety department. The farther back you scroll on their videos, it seems to be
All right, it's election night. Everybody's stressed, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing conclusive yet. But I don't know. I guess everybody wants to take a break from politics right now. So I'm going to react to some stuff. We're going to free politics from our brains and watch the newest episode of The New Norm.
An election, a nation divided.
Why is it so quiet?
Communist, xenophobe,
Huh?
weirdo, fascist, fascist.
Hey!
Can we all just get along?
With them?
We have nothing in common.
Why is the quality so shit? It's max 720p, and this is the only platform you're hosting it on X.
Have nothing in common with them.
There was an episode before this one? Well, fuck, link it to me. I don't know what I just assumed that this was the new one. Featuring Larry Elder. When was this? October 31st. Okay, not that long ago. Less than a week ago. Larry Elder this guy of PragerU and animated Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum. I don't know who that is. Support this show and help fight the woke mind virus with laughter. It's funny. I watched Joe Rogan's. Oh, thank you, Will L. I watched Joe Rogan's Trump episode, and I watched most of his JD Vance episode. It's funny how like he unironically says woke mind virus. It's funny how he says that unironically. This is crazy. This is a very funny caricature. Am I okay?
If Kamala wins, we're out of here.
If Trump wins, we're out of here.
Where would you move, Norm? Would you move to Russia? Like where? Out of here? Where? To Canada, to Mars. Oh, that's a funny one. Mars is going to reflect real American values. It's funny how evil they made him look. Like both of them, but mostly Elon. Also Dogecoin. All right. Still going with that one.
No, they eat dogs and cats.
Your side eats dogs and cats.
Another, like, complete lack of understanding of any kind of issue. Like, people are saying that about Haitian migrants, right? Or, like, asylum seekers. Immigrants. It's not very well written.
Our guy just sings about it.
They're eating the dog. Eating the pets.
More AI-generated music. This is funny. Also, I love how they got Trump's double jerk dance that he does at every rally, usually to the tune of YMCA. And also Elon's like really cringe, I'm making an X. Except they didn't do that. They didn't do the jump very well because he tries to make an X when he jumps. This is funny. Oh yeah, Trump never has his shirt unbuttoned like that because you would see how fat he is. We're all the exact same.
Maybe we all can get along.
There.
Oh, I wonder who shot Mr. Burns.
On the sloped roof.
Oh, God, really? They went for it? I can't believe they actually went for it. It was Hillary Clinton that did it. Wow. I was like, why even include this? Like, the guy that shot him was, like, a Republican. And also the assassination attempt after that was also another disgruntled Republican. But they're still going with this. This is crazy. This one's Amazon and it doesn't work? Like, oh, Jeff Bezos. The most liberal.
Ooh. Ha! A DEI hire.
Can we? Well, then, okay. Is this character a DEI hire then, Norm? Is the black guy in your show a DEI hire for your show? Then?
I wonder what this button does.
Why couldn't you just have white characters? Okay.
Now we're stuck here with you.
We're stuck here with you. And they, them.
Communist,
Homophobe.
xenophobe.
My
It's fun. So the reason why the conservatives can't leave is because Elon and Trump just ditched them. So that's kind of funny.
plan worked. They're destroying each other.
It's a very, like, it's funny that both sides kind of agree that Putin is probably just enjoying all of the division, but like he seems to be actively paying people like Lauren Chen, Lauren Southern, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin, possibly Jordan Peterson, if we were to believe Trudeau's comments, but I guess we'll have to see how the investigation goes, right? So this is kind of interesting.
They're destroying each other. Oh, нет.
What do we do now?
Loot?
I need a beer.
Wait,
Wait, we only have gay beer.
where's our dog?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats of the people who live there. And you know, ain't the same.
It's just more AI generated music. It'll be interesting when we get to a point where you can't tell immediately, you know?
As the old norm.
Merch. That was so uneventful. That was so pointless.
I'm Norm. I want normal beer. Problem is, nowadays, beer's covered in rainbows and drag queens.
For like maybe a month? Nowadays, like maybe 1 month, maybe 1 out of 12 months, some beer is covered with rainbows. And it has literally no beer has ever been covered with drag queens except for one promotional item. One singular beer that was given as a promotion to Dylan Mulvaney so that they could use it on their Instagram page and be like, thanks, Bud Light, and was never actually for sale in circulation anywhere. Like, I don't see anything that looks like this right now.
If only there was a better way.
Oh, we're selling beer cozies.
Turn any beer into normal beer.
So we can drink Bud Light again.
With the normal beer.
What I found funny, so I very recently watched Joe Rogan, JD Vance interview. Within the same episode, they're saying, so JD Vance was talking about the assassination attempt on Trump, and they were talking about how weird it is that they didn't find like cutlery in his house, which I guess I'll have to look into. I don't know how they're representing it. They're not very reliable sources of information, but they were talking about one of the guys being interviewed. And I've seen this interview clip of the guy going like, yeah, we were saying that there's a shooter over there, and the Secret Service they took forever to respond to it, right? And the way that JD Vance describes this guy, he's like, yeah, he just looked like a normal Republican, like, you know, holding a Bud Light. And then he caught himself saying Bud Light. And then he said, well, actually, maybe probably not a Bud Light. And he just kept going, and no one paid any attention to it throughout this interview. He just like very quickly, he's like, oh, you know, like a normal conservative holding a Bud Light, and actually, no, probably not a Bud Light.
You know, there was that crazy, I think it was a BBC reporter, somebody with an English accent who did the report on the ground with the guy. You know, he's like got a MAGA hat on and a Bud Light. He's probably not a Bud Light. He's got some beer and
just like never acknowledged it again. Because to signal, you have to be anti-Bud Light because Bud Light's canceled. Bud Light is conservative canceled because they gave Dylan Mulvaney one can of beer that had Dylan Mulvaney on it that wasn't for sale anywhere. And that was just such a terrible thing to do. And within the same episode, Joe Rogan is talking about how the woke mind virus of the left, how there's no forgiveness. They were talking about like, yeah, well, woke is like a religion, but unlike other religions, every other religion that exists has a concept of forgiveness. You know, if you're a Christian, you do something wrong, you say, I'm sorry, people will forgive you. But on the left, they don't. On the left, they just make you do more things, and they'll never accept it, no matter what you say. I'm like, I don't think that's exclusively on the left. Case in point, Bud Light, right? Like, didn't Bud Light apologize? You guys are still mad about it, right? Like, We will never forgive Bud Light. Also, woke is a religion. Religions are good, except woke, because woke doesn't forgive and doesn't forget or something. It's just it's not an accurate representation of reality to claim that that's like an exclusive thing on the left. Like, there are crazy people on Twitter. There are crazy people on this platform that you adore from this fucking billionaire, right? Some of them are on the left and some of them are on the right.
Cozy. Get the normal beer cozy now. And
No, actually. I won't. No, thank you. All right. And then newest episode, as of today, they're pumping these out. All right, here we go. X working perfectly as a video platform right now. Okay, might have to refresh the page. You know, as fun as it is to dead name X and call it Twitter, which in my mind it's still Twitter, I think one of the reasons why I'm like kind of comfortable with it not being Twitter at this point is because now if I type it into my browser, even though Twitter redirects to it, if I type TW into my browser, I like things that autofill, and there's also Twitch, and I use Twitch. So TWI, T, like all of those things just autofill into either Twitch or Twitter, and I like now that they're not competing. I can just type in X, and it autofills the .com. Even though it's a terrible name. But there's one thing that I don't mind about it. Let's say.
An election, a nation divided.
Racist.
communist.
Xenophobe.
Twitter isn't a human being, it's a soulless corporation. Yeah, well, explain why Twitter had a fursona. Dingus.
Huh?
Weirdo.
Fascist.
Fascist? Hey!
Can we all just get along?
With
No.
them?
We have nothing in common.
We have nothing in common with them.
We're for democracy.
You rigged democracy.
Are they saying that the 2020 election was stolen? Or are they saying that Kamala being the Democratic nominee was undemocratic? It's one of those two.
Your guy said he'd be a dictator on day one.
Your side's been dictator since day.
What the fuck kind of response is that? You've been dictators the whole time. You post on election day. There's an election happening right now. What do you mean they're dictators?
Day one.
Your guy's an idiot.
They're in power, and there's an election. That you posted this on November 5th. There's an election. There's an election happening. You've been dictators.
Your girl's a...
Okay, what is this saying? I gotta respond.
Day one.
Your guy's an idiot.
Your girl's a cackling idiot.
She's laughing.
Your VP is weird.
See? You agree on something.
Your side's divisive.
Your side's divisive.
Your side is divisive. Fascist.
Fascist?
Fascists are on your side.
Nazis are on your...
This is like the least productive conversation anybody could possibly have, and it's the least like substantive pretend debate that you could possibly write, you know? This is why I like Nuri Bilge Ceylan films, a Turkish director that I'm actually shocked has never been nominated for an Oscar ever. Because apparently the Academy hates Turkey. I don't know why. Like, legit, I have no other explanation. You watch his films, there will be characters having conversations, and they'll be debating, and you understand both sides, and you don't just see the writer, you know? It's not like a shallow, like, oh, this. It's not like a shallow version of this, where characters aren't really saying anything, and you can tell that no one has any comprehension of anything they're talking about, and it's not real people talking. When people debate in his films, it's like, oh, these are like two real people. And it's actually super talented to think about. It's fascinating to think about the amount of talent required to write characters with opposing views where you can understand where both of them are coming from and they feel like they're coming from really real places. That's what I mean, that's not even like what I like the most about his films. Like, his cinematography is fucking incredible. Yeah, shout out to Nuri Bilge Ceylan, which no one's going to learn how to spell because it's a Turkish name. What's the name of one of his films? Winter Sleep. It's very long, but very good. It's very slow paced. Winter Sleep. And his newest one. What was the name of his newest one? What was the name of his newest film? About Dry Grasses. Thank you. Yeah, that was incredible. I want to watch that again right away.
Yours.
Huh? Nazis?
Charlottesville? Tiki torches?
That was years ago.
That's a good response. That was years ago. That was like... That was years ago.
Now your side hates Jews.
Oh my God, that's it. Again, an extreme oversimplification of a complicated issue that just like, this is not... I'm trying to imagine the person that watches this and sees any one of Norm's responses and goes like, preach. Like just... How surface level of an understanding of anything could you possibly have?
Your side hates Jews.
No, your side hates Jews.
Your side hates
No,
Jews.
your side hates
Your
Jews.
side hates
Your
Jews.
side hates Jews.
Your side hates Jews.
Okay.
Look, we all hate Jews. That's what she should say. Damn it. Well, hopefully YouTube doesn't misinterpret that. Satire, everybody. I'm obviously joking. Gotta be careful with YouTube nowadays.
That's one thing in common.
Election interference. Sex scandals. Liar.
Sex scandals, yes. Sex scandals happen to Republicans and Democrats. It depends how you define election interference. I would say that Trump is the most egregious example, and to try and equivocate them by just saying like, oh yeah, you know, Hillary said there was Russian interference, even though she conceded that night and didn't, you know, have a plot where she sent like fake electors. You know, like that's a pretty big thing. That's a pretty big example of election interference, right?
Backed by billionaires.
Democracy is on the ballot.
This could be our last election.
It's all the same.
If your side wins, it's World War III.
Right wins, left riots. Left wins, right riots.
No matter who wins.
This is a show about unity, right? We gotta stop the division and just watch the new norm.
We all lose?
I like how the voice acting, he said loose. Like, lose? No, loose is what they said.
Wins? We all lose?
Strange.
Loose? Maybe it was actually, maybe the script was written by somebody that didn't know how to spell lose, and they spelled loose. I think that's probably likely, actually, because there's a lot of people that don't know how to spell.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play.
Oh, don't vote!
How about a nice normal beer? Normal beer. I just want...
It's fun trying to interpret where the joke is. Where the comedy is, like to try and think about what it thinks it's doing.
Normal beer. Normal beer. Normal beer goes in at shop.newnorm.tv.
Is every single episode just an ad for their merch site? Is that it? Is that the punchline? All right. Well, that was great.
Hey everybody, Olivia here. Thank you for watching as always. Anyway, let's go over my $5 and up patrons for November 2024. Joaquin Avia del Puerto, Ivy Gladstone, Jordan A, Nico Fuentes, Joel999, Speak of the Joker, Modern Nerd, Cypress, Chevenel Goat, The Flying Marlin, Lobsterite, Mayra Geek, Mead Marmalade, HG Greggs, Clarice Carlston, Skanot On, Happy the Knife, Coolest Shirt, www.openclassactions.com, Emil.
All right. New Norm. On their official account. The New Norm Show, the first animated sitcom on X. Check the mini pilot of the first animated sitcom on X. Is there supposed to be a dash for sitcom? No, it's just one word. It's just one word. Sitcom is just one word. So I don't even see an alternate. Oh. No, there's not even an alternate spelling with a dash. It's literally just one word. And yet, in this tweet, sit-com and sit-com in their description. As you can see, I am a community notes contributor, which is very fun. Especially in the election season, I get to see a lot of crazy shit. I get to see the proposed community notes on things, which is very fun, especially during the election. It's crazy. You have no idea. Everything's in full swing right now. I barely check Twitter, but I have that for some reason. Oh, the playback controls, I can press the letter K to pause it, just like YouTube. Okay. 100 calories, 40 sodium. What is that a Roomba? Why is my beer gay?
What's that?
So, who's voicing the main character?
Progress. It's the new norm.
The new norm.
You'd have to choose the gay beer on the shelf to buy it, though. You'd have to go out of your way to buy the beer with the rainbow flag.